Hi, and welcome to a very quick demonstration and run through primarily designed for the users of the system of the web interface that's now available as part of the ESM 6.8 release. So if I just quickly log into the user interface, I'm going to focus on specific areas here. So my default thing is it brings me straight into my notifications and cases. I have far too many cases. I probably need to go through those. But in this particular one, I'm going to focus on event search. So I'm going to dig into some of the options here. So for example, I've had an indicator, or I need to carry out some investigation around some particular data with it that we've collected and stored within the system itself. So I can actually go to the event search aspect, and this is a very simple, very straightforward search capability. So what I can do is I can just hit go. I'm just doing a search on the last 10 minutes here, so I'm looking at the data, and I can see very quickly it's displayed all the data that is relevant here. Important thing here is that it's actually all the data. I'm only viewing a limited set. In fact, you can notice that by the fields here. So the default fields I can view. I can customize this. There are a number of ones that are built in the standard. I can even have this auto update as needed. But at the moment, I just want to show this data. There is actually quite a few pages of data here. So I probably want to be narrowing my search a little bit because there's obviously quite a lot there. But what I'm interested in is if I just click the little plus symbol here, it actually displays the full raw data that's included. So that's everything that we want to do. I could display all the fields, but at the moment I just want to display the simple fields just to have an understanding of what's there. So let me get rid of that. But notice how it changed the color of the background as I went over certain fields and certain information here. Where we can, it will automatically present and give you an option for doing a drill down and search on that data. So for example, I'm actually really interested in this Unix data here. So this is a particular vendor. It's come through. It's Unix data from Unix log sources. So if I just click that, it's highlighted, and therefore I can click it. It then automatically adds that data to the search criteria. So I can see here device vendor, because that's the field I clicked on, contains. We have full operators within this as well, including whether it's anything to do with integers, IP addresses, and so on. We have operators that can work on this, but since this is text, it's contains, and it then does a search and drill down on that data as well. So suddenly I've now got this additional view of what's going on. So I can see some additional information here. I can see lots of other log data. I can see lots of IP addresses. And if I wanted to drill down some further, so I'm actually really interested in that particular IP address because it's an accepted password. What's that IP address and what's relevant? Again, it's highlighted it. If I just click it, it automatically adds it to the search criteria here. So I've done what is a relatively straightforward search, but I've done it just through 2 clicks. Very simple, displayed and added that information to there. I could directly enter that data if I wanted to, and that's what I'm going to do as an example here. There I was just clicking on the fields, but maybe I just have a key piece of information I want to use. I could just type the data and just do a search that way. So in this case, I'm doing a search on the word Windows on all fields within the system. So now it's going to display that data. Interesting point here, and this is the reason why I do this as a demonstration, is clearly I have products, Windows log sources, and that's where that's coming. But I'm also getting some ISS data here. So if I actually expand that slightly just to show it, it's actually displayed additional windows in different fields. So that just gives an illustration that I'm showing that data and I'm searching on that data on all fields. I don't need to be specific on a particular field if I don't want to, and I want to have an open search on that one. But in this particular case, I'm going to be a little bit more specific, and I'm actually going to click on that one as well. This is Windows and it's a Microsoft one. So hey presto, I just get those. What I do also have is a very powerful and simple way of just doing additional what we call pipeline searches. So I can just build up Boolean operators that way. What I could also do is do additional operators. So notice how I did the little pipe symbol. It's automatically popped up some additional information around some additional operators that I could do that are available to me and examples of that. What I want to do is actually just want to just give a very quick illustration that I could put this into a chart, and I'm going to do it by the top 10 because that's what top means, and I'm going to do it based on the name of the actual event. So I could just do that search, give me the top 10 Windows and Microsoft log messages, and hey presto, there it is. It's only a limited amount of data because that's all I have here, but I can very quickly see that the most important and relevant data that we get is login failure. And again, it's click down, so I can just click that, and now I can search and see that data as well. So suddenly I can start to build up really quite sophisticated and complex ways of doing this mechanism of doing the searching and doing the investigation and narrowing down onto the data that I find relevant. I can save those and reload those searches and views if I want to. That's not a problem. But what a little bit more useful is some of the more advanced features that I have within this capability too, because we're also going to be able to display additional data about it as well. So I'm just displaying the log data there, but if I click on field summary and what we call discover fields and just rerun that search, it's now going to look at that log data and see what the data is as well. So now it understands and it's doing some very simple analytics on what the data is. So now we can see that of that time period, again 10 minutes, there are 215 different types of event from 21 vendors, 65 addresses and so on. If I want to know more, I just click on that and it gives me the top information. So suddenly it's guiding me in understanding what's going on. So the first one is a loop bag address. That's not good. We probably want to investigate that one. But actually this address is really interesting. So I can click on that. So let's look at the destination address of there. So now we can see this has come from a couple of different products here. So that's probably again worth digging into. What's the name? What's the different priorities? Where's it coming from? What's my source? If I click on that, it displays the data and I can dig into it accordingly. So it then becomes a very powerful way for me to just click through and slice and dice onto that data and view it. And if I wanted to, and I had a larger search, for example, I could even export that data for further crunching into a reporting tool or even into some sort of pivot tool around something, for example, like Excel or equivalent. So as you can see, the searching capability is incredibly powerful and it gives me the ability to drill down and do that initial triage and investigation with that key pieces of data. So that's all I wanted to show from a very quick overview of the event search capability that's built into ESM 6.8 and some of the both simple and more advanced features that are available to it. Thank you very much.